It's really crazy how much character customization I cannot pronounce that word there is. Rhea says, Syra, bring the coal stick. We should highlight her eyes. They're such a pretty... Oh my god! Should we just go with good old my eyes? I've already taken my looks for now, so let's go blue eyes. And they contrast so well with her. That probably. Once Rhea was satisfied with your hand makeup, it was Syra's turn. She gave you a careful once-over, clearly noting your buttocks of round, curvy. She nodded thoughtfully and then sorted through the outfits you had brought with you. It quickly became apparent that your style leaned towards the casual. Most of your clothes she discarded as fast as she put her hands on them, but finally she sees something towards the bottom of your trunk and nods. It's an elaborately embroidered silver and gold formal gown. It was designed for making an impression, so you can see why Syra would have chosen it. If ever there was a night for good first impressions, this is the one. Jasper is banished temporarily from the room, and you are laced and squeezed into the gown. Syra is something of a magician. With a few tucks and adjustments, the dress suddenly is much more flattering to your curvy figure. You look quite pretty, if you say so yourself. Jasper knocks on the door and admits himself to your room, impatiently reminding that you and your maids at dinner is starting soon. Rhea argues that if you give them more time, they can make you look even prettier. Jasper insisted you look fine, and arriving on time or early is much more important. Ultimately, it's your decision. Leave now in order to arrive early. Let Rhea have 15 minutes. Let Rhea have as long as she wants. Let's go there early. Jasper impatiently escorts you through the maze that make up the Vale Isle castle hallways until you stop abruptly in front of a pair of large wooden doors. He nods at you as if to say that he has accompanied you as far as he can and everything else is up now to you. You smile easily at Jasper as you fearlessly take hold of the door handles. It's going to take more than a simple feast with strangers, even dangerous ones, to really make you nervous. The Great Hall is a distant example of master artistry. High ceilings are seemingly held up by delicate marble arches that are more sculptures than structure. A great table of shining golden wood sits in the center of the room like a bride ready to be admired as she moves down the aisle. Its settings are elaborate, all gold leaf plates and crystal goblets. So many words! And paintings from the decades master. It looks pretty. And it looks pretty, yeah. You aren't the only one who decided to come early. You already can hear the soft din over conversation. It seems as if people are chatting before the feast begins, and more of them are arriving every moment. By following Jasper's advice, you will now have more time to get to know the people you will be spending the next 7 weeks with. Could one of them be a future marriage partner, a lover, an enemy? Only time will tell. Save for the 4 chaperones, it seems as if everyone is still clumped loosely in groups based on nationality. Everyone seems suitably distracted. This would be an excellent time to observe the lay of the land, so to speak. Which group do you wish to observe more closely? Okay, the chaperones. Since the death of Princess Katja, 4 runes from rotating kingdoms attend the summit with the young people. Theoretically, they are there to limit the trouble and scandalous behavior that unsupervised young people can get up to, especially ones who have been monitored as closely as their lives as most of the dead will get. And actually, well, you aren't very positive, but you've definitely heard whispers that they maneuver behind the scenes to their own ends of all their kingdoms. They aren't people you should be getting on the bad side of, that you know for certain. Which Cameroon would you like to examine further? You're all very interesting, but bye. The Scout Delegation. Of all the Scouts definitely stood out the most. Who else would think battle-worn armor was appropriate for a formal banquet? I like it. But that's not exactly surprising. Scout was unlike any other kingdoms as night from day. A warlike man, where the women were the queens and warriors, and the men stayed home to raise the children, mend the crops, and pay worship to their strange gods. Scout was exactly known for their manners. This is your first chance to observe someone from Scout up close. Although they already are strange and stand out, one member of their group stands out much more. Yeah, because she's not like black. Not in that way. A foreboding tattoo etched into the side of her face, making marks out as a daughter of the Queen of Scold, Prince Annalie, who rumor marks as better fighter. She was tall, muscular. I'm sure she's very beautiful. But here's delegations. Oh, hello. Hello, that's a boy there. The Island of Pirates, that's what most people call the Kingdom of Peace behind their backs, and occasionally they're very brave to their faces. The small island nation housed a seemingly endless number of ships, and brave and ethically questionable people sail them. Even more strangely, they have declared themselves as all equal in the eye of the sea. Although they do have a leader, they claim he was appointed because of his skill and nothing else. They are strange people, and you heard nothing but rumors of their habits of piracy. Looking at them now, dressed in bright colors and in some cases very little clothing, talking too loudly and laughing even more so, you have a hard time picturing them as scoundrels of the sea. At the center of the small group stand two people who draw your notice in particular. The son of the leader of his, whom Jasper told you was granted the courtesy title of Prince by the other nations for the sake of clarity, if nothing else, and Princess Cordelia, a true princess. Who would you like? I'd like to look at Hamin. Prince Hamin, captain of the ship Blackwater, stands in the center of the group from his. He wears his sun-lighted dark hair in many braids pulled back by a brightly colored scarf. He has glitter of gold and gems, as both are literally dotted with earrings. The effect of his cocky grin is only heightened by his mischievous green eyes. He's wearing shockingly little. His open vest does little to hide his muscular chest. He wears brightly colored pants and an even brighter scarf belt around his waist. His obvious access of personality and commanding confidence make him seem much taller than he actually is. Rumors of his fearless adventures have reached even you. He's supposed to be some sort of pirate, a genius captain, blah blah blah. Although power does not pass from father to son, all rumor point is him taking away his father, blah blah blah. Still, it's best to remember he's a pirate, and such can't be trusted entirely, if at all. Okay. The Welland delegates. Your fellow Welland delegates are grouped loosely together and are being stereotypical, well-behaved and boring, save for a few loaded glances sent towards the Scout delegation. You know things are tense between the two countries, but you don't know why. You rather admire the female warriors of Skald. Me too. Maybe you should have been born across the border instead. You've met most of your fellows, although you only recognize the prince and princess by sight. You minimized your time at court, so they at least were too busy and important to bother chasing down one errant countess. Let's look at the prince. I don't care about the princesses. This is an Atomic game, kind of. If I have more time, I'll check the others out. Prince Liesel is extremely handsome, with brownish blonde hair, hazel eyes, and simple, elegant style that highlights his thin build and lengthens his average height. He is very handsome. The way he surveys the room is both thoughtful and intelligent. You haven't heard many rumors of the prince, which wouldn't be unusual except for willing ladies, gossip, so blah blah blah. Yeah, okay. Frankly, he sounds nice and all, but you aren't sure he's your kind of person. Everything you heard about him makes you think he's a little boring. Yeah. Well, hello, you two. Kauai, the lands of spices, trading, and most of all, secrets. No one is sure what goes on in the infamous Koval, not Kauai, court, but everyone agrees whatever it is, it must be interesting. Whispers have reached you of fabulous parties, strange affairs, and the all-powered emperor, but you have heard nothing substantial. Corval trades with all the kingdoms, but their secret, their troops, they keep firmly to themselves. Alright, rich and powerful, Prince Durad and Lord Blaine. Interesting. Oh, hello. Among the other kingdoms, Ireland is famous for two things. First, for being the most tradition-bound and rigid country, and second, for marrying off their daughters. Nice thing. Ireland princesses have consistently married into every other royal house throughout history, even before the start of the 7th all those years ago. This year, there is no princess off to marry off with the delegation. Instead, there are a handful of fresh-faced minor nobles, each one more forgettable than the last. With one exception, Earl Emmett. Observing the room with a large, friendly smile on his face, the Earl leans against the wall. He has friendly features and a stocky building, and is of medium height. His hair is an unruly mop of golden curls, his complexion more ruddy than anything else, and he has paid no attention to his appearance whatsoever. I like him. His clothing are so casual and wrinkled, he looks completely out of place among his fancily dressed He seems every bit the friendly, unambitious, good sport that he is rumored to be. Oh, something here is interesting. These are like the Japanese-looking or Chinese-looking. JL, the land of the scholars and innovation, the smallest of the kingdoms, save for his, which is an island, perhaps should not count. Despite its small size, Jidal is formidable, all on its own. Generations of the kingdom's greatest scholars, inventors, philosophers, doctors, strategists, and thinkers have come from or studied in Jidal. The members of its delegation look distinctly uncomfortable in the elaborate great hall surrounded by access and social lies. You've heard that in Jidal the delegates are chosen by a great test and top scorers earn their spot. They are then trained extensively in what to expect in foreign cultures. From how uneasy they look, you'll have a feeling their training hasn't helped them much. Save for one, Lady Avalli, who looks and perhaps for the highest-ranking member of the delegation, young Duke Lyon. It's hard to tell if he's uncomfortable or not, for his expression is impassive and his eyes cautious. Interesting. Right, let's just look at the Duke Edmond Lyon. His great height is the first. That was a weird voice. His great height is the first thing you notice about the Duke, followed by his spectacles perched carelessly on his nose, in chasing intelligent dark eyes. His long black hair is pulled back, judging by the careless way he is dressed, more out of a practical than fashion. Despite the mismatched and thoughtless way of his clothes as he worn, they're clearly of good quality and careful construction. The Duke hasn't moved in foreign circles, but you've heard enough of him to know that he has a reputation of being a genius, although cold and indifferent to others. I am seriously thinking about this guy. Reputations only mean so much, and you will have to meet the man yourself in order to get a proper impression. Lady Avaleda might be the most beautiful lady you've ever seen. Silken dark hair hangs. She is pretty. I'll give her that. Something waved to her waist. Small bells are tied into it, so every small movement results in a quiet symphony. Large brown eyes tilt slightly at the end and dance as she examines the people in the room. Pale skin so smooth you wonder if she ever even has pores. Captures the light in a way that makes her look like she's glowing from within. Catching your gaze, she smiles at you in a friendly way which lights up her face. This one you're going to have to be careful of. Why? She seems nice. All the delegates of Geo must pass a test set to be challenged even at the grade of the school, as the lady must be at least as smart as she's beautiful. If she's ambitious as well, you know you will have to be careful of her. Okay. And the last ones. Rivere was once a land of great conquerors and advanced warlike people that built an empire. Later, against all odds, it birthed the Great Peace. Now it resembles either. It little resembles either. 20 years ago, a bloody club changed the face of Rivere. A new royal family was instated. The old and all its supporters, the last of Prince Katja's line, were killed. Rivere has yet to recover, and internal affairs have been taking precedence over international. Still, that the delegation is present and hosts some of the most important people in current Rivere politics. Pale and ethereal beauties, Prince Gerard, his sister Princess Gisette survey the room. At the edge of the group, Lord Claremont looks around, wary eyes belying an easy smile. Interesting. Prince Gerard. Tall and thin, with white blonde hair and pale grey eyes, Prince Gerard seems more of a fairy from a story than a handsome man. He's dressed in stark black and white and stares about the room with a dark intensity. When he catches your eye, you stand there frozen for a moment, caught by his attention. The heir to Rivere he is also one of the most powerful people at the summit. Anyone who marries him can count on a future as the queen of one of the largest kingdoms. The rumors that surround the new prince and his family are all dark, but that's not necessarily a reason to stay away from him. Right, Lord Claremont. It is subtle, but it seems as if Lord Claremont is distancing himself from the rest of the Rivere party as he carefully watches everyone else enter the great hall. He's carefully dressed in dark blues that suit his dark tan skin and match his dark blue eyes. His hair is mussed, where he clearly just ran his fingers through it. Lord Claremont is tense, whether from discomfort at the first introductions or something, you aren't sure, but you can practically see the nerves trapped in his overly still muscles. Unlike his royal counterparts, you haven't heard any rumors about Lord Claremont at all, but you have seen some suspicions. But you have to have some suspicions about anyone who has the favor of the current Rivere royal family. Alright. I'm finished observing. Being prepared is half the battle, and now you have learned everything you can simply by observing. It's now time to do something a little more active, certainly more dangerous, and possibly more frightening. Oh joy. Before you have a chance to do more than take a few more steps into the Great Hall, Princess Annalie comes happily stumping over to your side and grins at you. Lord Blaine trails her behind her like a neglected puppy. Hello, Countess Janice. I'm Annalie. You can call me Anna if you like. Hello, Anna. You can just call me Janice. Anna's grin glows wider. You can tell you made her happy. Lord Blaine smiles as charmingly as he can at the princess and subtly, physically inserts himself between the two of you. You look so utterly charming in that armor, Princess. Truly, it suits you. Anna blinks at him several times like he just confessed that he turns into a cat every night and chases unsuspecting toes through the street. You, she finally barks at him. Go away. What? He stutters, shocked. Go away. I'm not interested in you. Sure. But you are in her! Lord Blaine points at you in a way that is both insulting and accusatory. Yes, I like her. She's pretty and interesting, and you are boring and light, and loud, like an angry bee that's stuck flying into circles. Go away. I like her. She's awesome. Oh shit, I got the volume off. She might be one of my favorite characters already. Finally sputtering from the outrage he does, but not before sending you one of the ugliest looks you've ever witnessed. Congratulations, you've made yourself your first enemy. What have I done? And I grins at you again. I'm so happy that bzz, bzz in our ears is gone. Now let's talk more of interesting things. Do you know how to fight? No, but I do know how to take care of myself. Anna nods thoughtfully. You have the feeling she would have preferred if you claimed to be a master fighter, but she doesn't seem entirely displeased with your answer. There is a lull in the conversation. Politeness dictates that it's your turn to introduce a topic. How are you liking your stay at Isol? So, you must have killed a lot of people! You must be happy about your own reputation. Do you wear armor all the time? Yeah, that was probably the wrong thing. So, how are you liking? Alright, she looks like I'm sorry for reading it myself. You know, however, that you need to take this opportunity to talk to as many people as you can. It has been lovely talking to you. I should go. Alright. You are free to engage anyone you like in conversation. This will be your only chance to make a first impression. Who you talk to and what you say could have a major impact on your future. You should think about it carefully. I'm already terrified. Who would you like to approach? You have time for 13 more conversations. Holy... Oh, shit. Bye. Yeah, I'm sorry. Oh my god. Alright. Let's just take it, one at a time. I want to talk to Duke Lyon first. The Duke acknowledges your approach with a stiff nod. Countess Janice. Duke Lyon. You greet the Duke, swooping into a courtesy. I'm pleased to meet you. He shows no visible reaction to your introduction. The Duke sighs deeply, leaving you wondering if you've done something to offend or distress him. You both stand there in silence for an intensely awkward pause before the Duke suddenly speaks, his deep voice startling after the blah 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 silence. I'm sorry, Countess Janice. I confess I don't do well at parties. Perhaps it's for the best if you find someone else to talk to. How do it? I'm sure you're just being modest. It's not that hard. Truthfully, neither do I. Don't be silly. That assumes as an object of standpoint. Truthfully, neither do I. Well, that's some small comfort, I suppose. True, we will just have to be bad together. At least we can do Paulette in excellent company. The Duke stares at you thoughtfully. Are you quite certain you don't want to find a more agreeable conversation partner? No, I very often seek out conversation with people I in fact have no desire to talk with at all. He sighs, but in a resigned way. Very well, if you insist, but I feel I must warn you, I do quite, he's bad at small talk. I'll do my best to avoid any diminutive. I'll do my best at avoid any topics then. Okay, he doesn't want gossip. He doesn't want. Maybe he was someone amusing. Okay, he has warmed to me slightly. Let's see what. Alright, that looks good. You take advantage on the opportunity to talk. Let's see. I've been snooping around. These are the people I've met. Okay. There's a lot of characters. Holy shit. Let's see. My relationships. Right. Let's see. So Princess Annalie, or friendship is a bit up, and romance is up for some reason. Alright. Let's see if we can find a lovely Duke Lyon. Respect is up. Friendship is up. There's no romance currently. Okay. Fine. So she loves us. I don't think. Okay. You take advantage of the opportunity to talk about what you know and learn from someone who so knows. Yeah. Your conversation is interesting, and by the end of it, the Duke is loosened up enough you think he even might have enjoyed it. As your conversation naturally winds down, you become aware that it's time for you to say your goodbyes and talk to someone else. Even if you wanted to continue the conversation, you're already drawing curious stares. Perhaps the Duke has more of a reputation for lacking interest in polite conversation than even his protest had you believe. In any case, you don't want to start any rumors on you at the very first night. You smile, reluctantly or not, and thank the Duke for talking with you. Of course. His answer is so quick you can't help but wonder he's been hoping for the conversation to end. Certainly, all of the people you've met tonight, the Duke seemed the least eager for your, or any company. How do you say your goodbyes? I'm happy to mean and intelligent. Well, that was an extremely dull conversation. I don't know what you were talking about. Maybe that. No. He smiles slightly and reluctantly, but you smile back much wider. You have sense that you've won a big victory here and earned some good opinion along the way. Alright, does he like us better now? I'm sorry for, like... Oh yeah! You see that thing? That's it. That's totally awesome. Right. Alright, the Duke bows and excuses himself. You watch his tall figure retreating into the dark and quiet corner, unable to shake the feeling that you are no closer to understanding what he's truly thinking than before you spoke to him. You are certain that all of the people at the summit, winning over the Duke is going to be one of the most challenging. Who would you like to approach? Oh, wow. Prince. I'm kind of interested in the pirate guy, but I also want the prince. Let's see, general and earl, countess. Where is the prince? The prince that is flirty. There was a flirty prince. Just can't find him right now. Oh well. Oh, wasn't it Gerard?